at this retreat, and he's still messaging other women trying to have sex with them, and he's on dating apps, and he doesn't really give a to be here for me. I think he's treating this like a vacation, anything, because I don't want people to hate him, because I do care about him.
You know what's wild? When somebody comes in hot, fire and blazing, and then they say, yeah, I don't want to do anything to hurt him. Listen, Sophie is just not the best of a choice of words, but I get it. Okay, obviously she was leading up to obviously what else she wanted to say, but to be honest with you, I just feel like if Sophie could just fix her approach, maybe things would actually work in her favor when it comes to the public's eye, shall I say. But let's continue.
And you've done so much to me, and I've kept it to myself because I do care about you.
Dating app.
Oh yeah, sure, I can show you.
Sure, and it better be current too. It better be current too. Stop, you're not doing that, are you? I'm literally not on a dating app.
This is exactly what I'm going through.
Be very.
You know, Ari came in there. She said this is exactly what I'm going through. How many people picked up on that? Because I found that quite interesting, to be fair with you. But we will get to Ari as well, Ari and Benny, you know, in another video, because I really want to touch on Ari. But the fact that she even said herself there, this is exactly what I'm going through. What I'm interested in is for Ari to really, you know, further explain. Because I do feel like Ari's been one of those people that has been written off throughout the season due to her prior behavior, you know, obviously on the show. And the question is, has she truly been going through these things with Benny, where he would deny all these cheating allegations and make her feel less than? Well, I guess we'll get there when we get there. But for now, let's focus on Sophie and Rob. And you see, right now, Rob is about to lose his cool.
Clear. Let's be very clear. Sophie told me to go talk to other women 10 times. Yeah, care. That's why I'm here. You want dog make me put me in a doghouse and tell me go talk to other women because I ain't got nothing for you. You tie as of March.
You know what though? I'm going to say this. No one, especially men, no man should ever be in a relationship or marriage with somebody that makes them tick like that. The way Rob got up and started ticking like that is crazy work. Like, yo, if I got up and that's how angry my person made me feel, understand that my person is never seeing me ever again. Because I can't be behaving like that. Are you crazy? You know, coming across, you know, all aggressive and angry, you know, towards a woman. You see what I'm saying? Now, I know obviously there's that split conversation or where people can say, well, but a woman shouldn't do that to a man. She shouldn't put him in a position where he feels like that, Now, listen, that is here or there. The matter of fact is when it does happen, if it does happen to people or to us men, we have a choice of how we want to conduct ourselves. My choice is that I'm leaving. I don't need to have a conversation because the fact that it got to this point here is a problem because I know that I would have done things prior to that to avoid these situations. So the fact that I would have tried to avoid them and then they went obviously completely ignored and then they happened, yeah, tells me everything that I need to know about my stance in that relationship, you see what I'm saying? Obviously, as you can see here, this is Rob coming in with his evidence of proving that Sophie did give him permission to pretty much, you know, act single and go and speak to whoever the hell he wanted to speak to.
4th, 2023, me and you are on a break and I give you permission to act single and will not hold this against you. 6 months later, she still hadn't came home. So then I broke up with her. So at what point
We was broken up for a few months and then we started getting back together, did we not?
We had sex one time and then you went right back to living your best life.
That's not true.
You know what's so crazy though? This is where I find it hard to believe Sophie because we have seen in previous seasons where in a previous season where Rob did a breakup with her and then she had the whole meltdown because he had broke up with her so much that even her friend Kai or Kay, whatever, got involved, you know, telling Rob off for breaking up with her and saying that it shouldn't be you breaking up with her, it should be her breaking up with you. It was one of the most confusing things ever because it's like, well, Sophie had literally left Rob living with your friend, living with Kay at the time. You know what I mean? And she wasn't willing to come back home, wasn't willing to come back to solve their marriage. But you know what the thing that's quite interesting as well, and this is where we talk about patterns. I spoke about this in yesterday's video, okay, and I think even before that too. So initially, I remember at the time, I don't know if it was before the previous season these two were on, or if it was after that, or even during the season, but there was a time when Sophie's mum came out with the videos showing Rob screaming and shouting at Sophie. Then there were other videos that even came out as well, you know, of Rob screaming and shouting Sophie up some more too. And these things happen around that time, okay? And it was weird because it happened around the times when Rob pretty much on screen was leaving Sophie. Fast forward to this season, recently Sophie's come out with some more information against Rob, but it all seems to have happened around specific times when certain episodes happen. Why is it that the information that comes out from Sophie regarding domestic, behavior in their relationship seems to happen at certain times of when they are filming in a season and when that season is being aired, if that makes any sense? I could be wrong with my timeline of the previous one, but I'm pretty sure it was definitely around that time, okay? And this is why when we look at patterns, Sophie's patterns make it very hard for not every single person to want to side of her when she does spill information against Rob, okay? Because it's not the first time that she's done this. But hey ho, either way, let's continue.
That was
acted
the
like you
first
cared for
time
5
I moved
seconds.
out when
You said, go other women. I said, I don't want to go on a break. We should either separate or we should work on our relationship. That's what I said to you.
They're wrong. He's
Also, if you remember on the previous season, it was Rob's birthday, and instead of Sophie spending time with Rob for his birthday, she was still with her friend, and Rob obviously went out instead, obviously, with his friends. You know what I mean? And I don't think they were actually in a relationship at the time because she wasn't even living with him. But I remember Rob kept talking about how, look at me, I'm out here, in this club, and look at all these women that want me. And then obviously they even had the woman that showed her interest in him, and he said, obviously I could have her, da-da-da. I mean, he was talking as if he was flipping God's gift. It was hella annoying. But anyway, in that same season Sophie was obviously talking about, oh, well, Rob better not be out there doing da-da-da-da-da. But it was weird because it's your husband's birthday, and you're not even in the same city. I don't think she was even in the same state as him. So it's like, why didn't you fly out, or why didn't you do something for your husband? Do you see what I'm saying? It's weird, right? And these are the things that don't make sense with their storyline and the behaviors that's happening here. Who wouldn't be there for their husband on his birthday if you are telling me your relationship is too active? And that's why this conversation here, where these two are going back and forth, and Rob is saying, no, this is when it happened. And Sova's like, no, that's not when it happened. Well, I can't sit here and tell you guys who's telling the truth or who's right or wrong because the only thing that I can say is what we've seen and the patterns that we've seen from Sophie's behavior and Rob's behavior in their relationship. Do you see what I'm saying? But it does feel like the patterns are created more by Sophie than they are by Rob. At least that's how it seems anyway.
getting angry because he looks bad. He doesn't think anything he does is wrong.
Yeah, but you don't think anything that you do is wrong neither, though. So that's interesting. So here's the thing. This scene here has split a lot of people online. I know there are women who have been in relationships where the domestic violence has happened, and they can relate to Sophie in this scene in terms of how she's out there, having palpitations, I think it is, or panic attack. But then at the same time, there's people who are split because the thing that I questioned here was that she did this before though, and she did this in that season when Rob broke up with her. When he obviously went to the house with her friend that we spoke about earlier on in the video. Rob breaks up with her, she then chases him down to his car and then has another panic attack in front of him, pretty much begging him to not leave her. Do you see what I'm saying? I mean, yeah.
Marriage, Mom. And there's no love there on his side. None. The minute that his image was blown, it's like I was like his enemy. Like he doesn't give a.
Now here's the thing that I wanted to speak about. We spoke about this in previous seasons as well. Sophie always needs to have someone by her side when things aren't going her way. When shit hits the fan, she either needs her mum there or she needs her friend Kai there. Obviously, her friend Kai is not in this season, so therefore she's back to her mum again. The same mum that she happily allowed to get arrested. I mean, yeah, let's just make that make sense. If you haven't seen the interview that I did actually with her mum, I do recommend you watch it because obviously her mum did have her say regarding those arrest events at the time, amongst other things as well. So I recommend you do watch that to obviously check out what Sophie's mum had to say in that interview if you haven't seen it already. It was some point last year. But nonetheless though, for me personally, I cannot sit here and tell you whether I believe Sophie or whether I believe Rob. I can't sit and tell you that because their whole relationship is just a hot mess. But what I can say is that these two, I do not want to see these two on screen ever again together after this season. Because the way I look at it is Sophie and her mum have now more than one occasion exposed Rob, right, for being abusive towards her online, but yet she still decided to come back with him. But it's now been exposed more than once. That shows strength within the person, I would imagine. And now also on the flip side, Rob is now, if I'm Rob now on the flip side, well, I'm married to somebody who's exposed me more than once for being abusive or whatever, ruining my image, and he believes, and obviously if he knows that it's not true, then he should know better than to ever get back at her again. Do you see what I'm saying? So it's like the relationship is dead now. If any of these two have a brain cell, you know, and they want things to end the way that it needs to be done, dead with now, because she's not gonna look good if she's still with him, given the fact that she's, you know, her and her mum have exposed him more than once. And he's not going to look good being with her, given the fact that, you know, this woman came out and said that you're gay, you know, that you basically were using your mouth on another man's pipe, you know what I mean? And also on top of that, she's also said that, you know, you have been vicious towards her too, you know? Would you want to still be with someone like that? I know I wouldn't. So yeah, there is that too. Nonetheless though, let me know your thoughts down below in the comment section. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and of course, peace.